His is bcdW Current Today. Every day, one city, one story, many eyes. Today, Toronto, Canada, just cut housing fees in half. Toronto's transit still can't pay its bills. This week, Canada made a big bet on housing. The federal government and Ontario cut development charges in half. More supply, lower costs to build, prices should moderate. The logic is straightforward, but Toronto has a problem the development charge cut doesn't solve. The same week Ottawa announced its housing push, the TTC published a warning. Costs are higher than in 2019. Ridership is lower than in 2019. The financial trajectory is not sustainable. This is the housing paradox Toronto has built for itself. The city needs tens of thousands of new units. Those units need to be connected to jobs, schools, and services. That connection is the transit system, and the transit system is running out of money. You cannot solve a housing crisis by building homes that aren't connected to anything. A cheaper development charge doesn't build a subway extension. It doesn't restore TTC service frequencies. It doesn't solve the last-mile problem for the outer neighborhoods where new supply is most likely to be added. The question Toronto should be asking is not whether to cut development charges. The answer to that is yes. The question is what comes next, and whether the transit system will be funded in time to make the new housing worth building. How are other cities reading this? If you're in New York has been running this experiment for decades, housing in outer boroughs, a transit system chronically underfunded. The Second Avenue subway took 50 years. Toronto is watching New York's future arrive on schedule. If you're in Seoul solved this partially by building transit before the housing. The GTX corridors were built alongside residential development. The sequencing lesson is clear. Transit that arrives after housing is always playing catch-up. If you're in Bogotá, Transmilenio didn't just move people, it catalyzed investment and created connective tissue that made the city more navigable. Toronto's current moment, a housing push without transit funding, is the mirror image of what Bogotá did right. If you're in Austin is making Toronto's mistake in real time, population and housing growing fast, Project Connect behind schedule and under pressure, density being added to future transit deserts. Toronto, Austin is watching you. If you're in Dallas built itself around the car and spent decades trying to retrofit transit. The development charge cut is the easy part. The transit funding is the hard part. Dallas learned this the hard way. If you're in Singapore, HDB estates were built around MRT stations before the stations were even open. Transit and housing planned as a single system. The outcome, dramatically better than when they're funded separately. Toronto has the evidence. The question is whether it will use it. bcdW Current. Today is published daily by bcdW Magazine, New York. Every day, one city, one story, many eyes.